Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with world champion chromatic harmonica player Mathias Heise. He just released his third album with Quadrilion. It's an original blend of funk, rock, and jazz delivered with guitar solos, synthesizers, and hard-hitting beats to create a immersive experience of grooves. His music can be heard on busy touring schedules on Denmark's vibrant jazz scene. This cat is going places. Enjoy his story.
Well, hey, thanks for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. It's great.
Yeah, so let's talk about Quadrilion. Talk about this new album. You know, the world's opening up, COVID's slowing down. How does this release feel right now?
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like the music business is coming back, and people are hungry for music. And this is an album that we've done primarily during COVID, which meant that we had it on our hands. We were recording in our studio in the north of Zealand. We were really, taking our time with the tunes and getting the arrangements the way we wanted them. And there was a lot of time to dive deep into the creative process. And it's just so great that now we can also play it live and we can connect with our audience once again.
So you got quite a blend of funk, rock, and jazz going on. Talk to me about where you were born and raised and how you started getting into music.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm born and raised in Copenhagen, Denmark. And my first connection with music was in playing the violin when I was only 6 years old. And I played that for a couple of years. Then I actually stopped and took up the harmonica instead, the diatonic harmonica, also called the blues harmonica. And I was playing a lot of blues music back then. I was bending and I was overblowing the harmonica. And then gradually I started becoming interested in funk music. I remember the first tune I heard was Chameleon by Herbie Hancock. And I was listening to that tune all the time. I was listening to it every day from when I was going to and from school. I became interested in more advanced music, you could say, with more advanced harmonies. And that led me naturally into jazz music also. And that also meant that I had to change the instrument from the blues harp to the chromatic harmonica, which is a totally new instrument to play, because on the diatonic harmonica you are playing only one key, because you change the keys with the instruments. And on the chromatic harmonica you are going to have to learn all the different scales, because you are playing one instrument for all the keys, just like, a saxophone or piano. So this was also a big eye-opener for me to be able to play into every chord and learn all these hundreds of scales that you could use on the hundreds of different chords.
What is it that you like the best about making music? You know, you get to be a professional musician. You do this all the time. What do you like the best about it?
The feeling you get when you are when you're composing a new piece and when you are in the rehearsal with your band, making a new arrangement, or when you are on stage performing a tune and improvising, is just amazing. And it's a feeling of going out of this world and into another world where there are things that make sense, that it is not to be found anywhere in this world. The feeling of finding the right notes to play on a chord, and finding a new way to play over a chord, or finding a rhythmical pattern that you can develop into a section of a song, finding a way to come from one section to another, and a way to build up the dynamic in the tune. You can also always feel when it's there and when it's not there, and that is just such a magical thing. It's like this world of music has its own internal logic, and you are exploring this logic, and it's impossible to know beforehand what is going to be the good solution of the musical problem and what is gonna be the effect of doing this and that. And that's what I love about music, exploring.
So let's say you come to Kansas City and put on a live show, and you need to get people to come in and watch you. How would you describe one of your shows? Why should someone come see you live?
It's a burst of energy. Our show is just one enormous burst of energy, but also, in different developments. But we just want to move people with like a raw musical energy. It's music that you can dance to. It's music that you can groove to, but it's also music that is stimulating you, because we are spending a lot of time working on the harmonies, a lot of time working on the compositions and on the arrangements. So it's really very, very, very well crafted music, and music that has taken many, many hours to create. And the end result is hopefully something very powerful that will, bring energy into the room and hopefully inspire you.
Hey, man, this has been great. I guess I got one more question before we go. Because of COVID, there hasn't been a lot of live shows. So my question is, what do you hope we all realize about the power of live music as we start getting back to the live stage?
Yeah, I hope and I know that we'll realize that live music is about being in the same room, being a live audience in the same room with the band, and that this way of experiencing music is, just the ideal way, and there's no match. A Zoom concert or an online concert is like it's a great thing to do, but it cannot match the real thing, because it's about feeling each other and focusing the attention in on something at the same time, being thousands of people with thousands of ears all listening to the same thing and experiencing the same thing. That's such a powerful thing to do.
I agree. Man, it was great to get to know you. Thank you for taking a minute out. Good luck with Quadrilion and the return to the live stage. Thanks for taking some time out.
Thank you, Joe. It was a big pleasure.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Denmark, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Mathias for his time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com. And for everything Neon Jazz, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. And for everything Joe Domino, go to joedomino.com. And if you feel like it, donate there through Patreon or PayPal to keep the Neon Jazz going strong. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.